Alright guys, Papa Pepper, welcome back to the Abundant Harvest Homestead. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about homesteading on grid and pretty much why we're doing what we're doing. If you think about homesteading, basically it's a shift towards being less of a dependent consumer and more self-sufficient, so it involves a lot of taking care of your own, pretty much whatever you can to drop the cost of living. Taking care of a lot of your own food, preserving that food, keeping it, preserved and available for you and your family, and just finding ways to kind of escape the rat race. It seems to what a lot of people are up to. I'm not exactly going to have any sort of stringent definition of what it is or what it isn't, but it's what we classify ourselves as homesteaders, and we happen to do it on grid. The main reason that we happen to do it on grid is that we were always planning on having some source of electricity to run things like phones, computers, other stuff. You need some sort of place to charge it. Now it could do that all from the vehicle, absolutely, but we're kind of shifting a lot of things in our life, and if I really want to be off grid, I just don't pay the bill, right? If you do that in summer, they'll probably let you get away with it. They won't shut the power off on you in winter. But the main reason that we actually went this route, okay, we were contemplating going solar because we wanted some source of electricity. But right across the street from me, I've got a neighbor who was building a house at the same time we were getting ours situated here. And in order to get power for them, it was going to cost a couple $1,000s to bring power out to them. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. There's some stuff near, but you only get a certain distance per house. So if we went on grid the same time that they did and hooked up to the power, we'd get ours for free, they'd get theirs for free. Now, a lot of times it's between $50 and $100 a month for me. So if you think about spending thousands of dollars on a solar setup and having the entire investment of that up front compared to just paying less than $100 or $100 a month, it's going to take us years of being on grid to equate our initial investment of getting a solar system set up for us. It depends on how big of a solar system you want to. And there is other things, you could do wind and other stuff as well. But for us, just rather than having the initial investment of everything that was going to be required with going solar, we decided that this was better. We could help out our neighbors. We were still planning on having a source of electricity. And if you notice too, I'm standing here at the end of my driveway. Okay, here's the end of my driveway. A couple things I wanted to make sure is that we pretty much kept the power lines off our property as much as we possibly could. So the only actual pole on our property is right here. And it's maybe 20 feet onto the property from the road, okay? The wires barely cut across any of the property. There's a straight line from there following that wire up. And then it runs to this little pole here by the driveway, and it goes underground from there. I've got the senior pasture for our animals over here, the associate pasture for the animals over here, and then right after where I've got that pole, I'm actually going to put up a fence and a gate. So that way the guy who checks the meter reader, he pulls in if he needs to, checks it out, and heads out. Doesn't need to get involved with any of our stuff, doesn't need to, have our dogs. Look at those sheep. Hey guys, sheep don't mind the rain as much as goats. How you doing? Yeah, it's Dodge on the far left. He's going to breed those ewes, and I think I might move him across the street today. I'll let him check these other ones out too. Back to the senior pasture. But anyways, for us it just made sense that this would be the most cost-effective way to do it, because even by the time we pay enough in our monthly bill to equal what we would have invested in a solar system, so it would be even up, we might have had to replace batteries by then or other things, where now it's pretty much, it's not on us. It's their responsibility to keep the power coming. It's a cheap bill on our thing. Like I said, eventually, start heating with wood, switch over to gas lanterns, decide to charge the phone or computers in the truck and just use the gasoline and the engine there to charge that stuff up, we could do rather well off-grid, 100%. And we were considering that originally, but I think we made the right decision for the time being, and we got to bless our neighbors in the process. So worked out good for them, worked out good for us, and that's part of why we homestead on grid. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, leave them in the section below. I think we thought through things pretty well. I think it worked out for us pretty well. I think there's some wisdom in having the meter right here, keeping these wires off of our property, and so far, you know, it hasn't been an issue. So we'll talk to you later. Papa out.